Hey, welcome to a new video, and today we're going to be talking about the slowing down of the flight model in Star Citizen. And why I think most people's criticisms of it aren't, I'm not going to say not valid because I do think they have good points, but not necessarily a fair criticism of the slowing down of itself. And I think there's two reasons for this, really. One is because we don't really know how it's going to affect everything. We don't have enough information. And second of all, because I think the slowing down of the speed was to address a certain issue, and that issue is combat. And everything else that results or is affected by that is a separate issue that needs to be addressed separately by CIG. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, combat was obviously designed by CIG to be slower because they didn't want to use shooting at pixels, I believe is the quote, but I'm not 100% sure on that. They wanted you to see the ship and it'd be like Star Wars and fighting, so they've been trying to encourage people to fly slower, which just hasn't worked because the advantages to flying fast were too numerous to fly slower. So now they have to force you to fly slower so that their flight model in combat works well. And I think this is going to make combat a lot better. Now, there are some negative side effects that need to be addressed, right? Racing's one of them. Racing's potentially not going to be as exciting or as fast or as fun as it was with the current flight model. Now, I think this is a separate issue, like the CIG could add other master modes, redesign tracks so they're better, stuff like that, to bring racing to a similar level as it was before. I'm not a super into racing, so I'm not one to talk on it, but I think that CIG can do stuff to make racing just as good as before and not speed up the flight model to where it was before. So the other one that I hear a lot of people talking about is piracy getting away. Like if you're a cargo hauler, now you're just screwed because they're going to be able to get you. Stuff along those lines. Now, I'm not sure, like I've seen it both where people have said it's going to be easier to get away now. I've seen it where people said it's going to be harder to get away. I'm not really 100% sure. But let's keep in mind what we currently have. There's nothing there. It sucks. It's terrible. It's all like, hey, are your shields big enough? Is your ship fast enough? Okay, you'll get away. Oh wait, never mind, they have a Mantis. You're not getting away. It's a very binary system that really sucks. It's not really even a system. It's just like CIG threw a bunch of stuff and that's how it worked out. It's not great. Right, so slowing down the combat speed is potentially going to have negative effects for one side or another on this. But there needs to be a completely different gameplay loop designed around piracy for this system, which isn't in the game. For instance, Elite Dangerous has an entire system around piracy, interdicting how to get away. There's several decisions that you have to make if you're getting pirated on how you want to get away. The pirates have to make several decisions on like how they want to do their piracy, so it's a complete gameplay loop that's completely separate from speed because that doesn't matter. Right, like if you get interdicted in Elite Dangerous, you're immediately faced with two different decisions that you have to make. You can try to fight it and get into the escape vector so that they don't interdict you at all and you get away. Or you can submit. If you submit, your frameshift drive doesn't heat up as much and comes back online, so you can jump away to safety significantly faster. But you are going to be in the pirate sites out of Super Cruise and be able to take damage. So you have to decide, is it worth trying to fight the pirate to try and escape right now? Or do I submit? Is my ship good enough to take a little bit of damage and I can escape, right? These are all decisions that you have to make in the moment, and depending on how you built your ship and stuff will determine your decisions on what you have to make there. It's a little bit more complicated than that, but there is, I'm just saying there's a basic gameplay loop around piracy and how that works, and there's skill required on both sides, which does not exist in Star Citizen right now, which is why I'm saying you can't really criticize the slowing down of flight speed for potentially maybe not being able to get away as well and stuff like that in Star Citizen, because I think those are separate issues that CIG needs to address separately. And right now our current system is just like a band-aid system that feels like they just kind of got lucky. It sort of kind of works, even though it's not fun or good. So that's just kind of my 2 cents on the entire situation. Let me know down in the comments below if you are happy they're slowing down the speeds, or if you want them to keep them cranked up, maybe go even faster, take them off altogether. I don't know. Let me know down in the comments.